Hello everybody, welcome from Hamburg headquarters to Transfermarkt TV. Let's look in today's transfers, and we have a couple of very interesting moves in European football. The first one starting with Bayern Munich, who signed Ivan Perisic on loan for 1 season. The Croatian international comes in on a €5 million loan fee from Inter Milan. Bayern has a buying option for €20 million. The 30-year-old is well known to Bayern coach Niko Kovac, who had him as international coach for Croatia back for the World Cup 2014. And he's known to the Bundesliga as well. 112 league games with Dortmund and Wolfsburg for Ivan Perisic, who is now a Bayern Munich player. Wissam Ben Yedder signs with AS Monaco, trying to upgrade his chances for making the national team squad for the European Championships next year with France. He comes in from Sevilla. Sevilla receives €40 million in fees for the 29-year-old central attacker, making him the third most expensive signing for AS Monaco after James Rodriguez and Falcao, the two Colombians that are on position 1 and 2. Now Ben Yedder, who has 92 scoring points in 138 games with Sevilla, joins Monaco. In the other direction is Rony Lopes, leaving the Portuguese right wing from AS Monaco, now joins FC Sevilla. Reported signing fee €20 million for the Portuguese international. Last season in Ligue 1, he had 24 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists to his side. Another signing for AS Monaco is this guy, Henry Onyekuru, coming in from FC Everton. €13.5 million in signing fees. He gets a contract for 5 seasons. Everton had him loaned away to Galatasaray into the Turkish Super League, where he performed quite well. The 22-year-old getting 31 games, 14 goals and 5 assists in 18-19 season. Maximilian Wöber, and we go back to FC Sevilla, is leaving the Spanish side and joins Red Bull Salzburg in his native Austria after only spending 1 month with Sevilla, who got the transfer from Wöber from Ajax in July for €10.5 million. Now Salzburg is giving €12 million to Sevilla for the 21-year-old central and left defender from Austria, now joining Red Bull Salzburg for 5 years. Also in Spain, Real Madrid has a second loan agreement for their goalkeeper Andrei Lunin. The Ukrainian international now leaves Real for Valladolid. Last season he was with Leganes, playing 5 times and conceding 5 goals in that time. The 20-year-old considered a big goalkeeper talent, trying to get some game experiences with Valladolid. Also in La Liga, Leganes signs Kenneth Omeru from Chelsea. He never played for Chelsea's first team, was loaned away 7 times in 7.5 years with the Blues. Now he joins Leganes on a permanent contract. Also Fortuna Düsseldorf was interested in Omeru. Leganes made the race with €5.0 million in signing fees for the next 5 years. He also played for Leganes in last season. Last Thursday marked the first real important date during this summer's transfer window, of course being the date when England had its transfer window closed, and thus we had some interesting transfers on the last day, deadline day in England. Let's take a look at the most important ones. And of course, one player got his wish, as we see at the Milan airport. Fans enthusiastically welcomed Romelu Lukaku, who left Manchester United and got his will. Antonio Conte, Inter coach, got his highest priority player, €65 million signing fee for the 26-year-old Belgian national player. With 2 years Manchester United, he had 96 games, scored 42 goals and 13. Now he tries to do the same thing with Inter Milan in Italy. Another very prominent name is David Luiz. He left Chelsea and joined rival Arsenal on an 8.7 million euro signing fee after 3 years with Chelsea now and 240 games in total after a short stint with PSG. He is now a gunner, the 32-year-old Brazilian, and he is joined by Kieran Tierney, 22-year-old Scottish national team player. He is a left defender, comes in from Celtic, and Arsenal paid 27 million euros for the 5-time Scottish champion, a very interesting player on the left side for the Gunners. This guy left Arsenal and joins Everton. Alex Iwobi, the Nigerian international, 23-year-old. He played in 35 games in Premier League last season for Arsenal, scoring 3 goals and having 7 assists. He also was in Arsenal's youth program. Now joins for 30.4 million euros with Everton. The Toffees give him a 5-year contract. We move on to Tottenham, and they got Lo Celso, the 23-year-old Argentinian national team player, on a loan fee for 16 million euros from Betis Sevilla. They have a buying option, which would come up to 60 million euros in summer 2020. He had a very good La Liga season last season and also in the EuroLeague for Betis Sevilla. In 32 games in La Liga, 9 goals, 5 assists. In EuroLeague action, 7 games, 5 goals and 1 assist. Now he's becoming a Tottenham player. And also with Tottenham, one very interesting man for the left side, Ryan Sessegnon, finally leaving Fulham, his club that he played for 13 years. The 19-year-old started in 2006 with Fulham. Now Tottenham paid 27 million euros for the English under-21 national team player. He had a very good season in Premier League, but relegated with Fulham, deciding now to stay in the Premier League with Tottenham. Former Premier League champion Leicester City has the services now with Dennis Brett. The 25-year-old Belgium comes in from Sampdoria Geneva. 21 million euros signing fee. He gets a contract for 5 years. Had a very good Serie A season, recorded 34 games, 2 goals and 3 assists. And he is now a Fox. And Watford has another interesting signing, Ismail Assar, who was on the European market quite often mentioned. They signed him for 30 million euros from Stade Rennes. He had a very good season, 50 games in all competitions with 24 scoring points. The 21-year-old also played in the Africa Cup of Nations for Senegal, for whom he is an international player. Joins Watford as a right winger. The Hornets paid 30 million euros for Ismail Assar. You could think that is probably enough to make it to the top 5 list of the most expensive imports of the Premier League, but he's not making it. At position number 5, we take a look. Joey Linton comes in to Newcastle United from Hoffenheim for 44 million euros. 60 million euros were invested by Tottenham for Olympique Lyonnais Tanguy Ndombele. Joao Cancelo comes in from Juventus to Manchester City. They got Danilo in return, so the signing fee of 65 million euros is a little bit reduced. Rodri, 70 million euros for Atletico Madrid, spent by Manchester City. And the most expensive import in this summer's transfer window, Nicolas Pepe, who also already was a substitute for Arsenal London. He came in from Lille OSC for 80 million euros, making him the most expensive Premier League import. Of course, the most expensive player at all. Transferred was Harry Maguire, who joined Manchester United. We start this week's Rumour Mill with a very familiar person to the Rumour Mill, which is, of course, Neymar Jr. Now, it seems that Barcelona, his former club, is close to re-signing him, the 27-year-old Brazilian, since Eric Abidal, the team director of Barca and another Barca executive, traveled to Paris to talk to Paris Saint-Germain team director Leonardo. Neymar reportedly wants to leave Paris, and now, of course, other rumors go with it, since he is probably leaving. Bayern Munich is interested in signing Philippe Coutinho, another Brazilian 27-year-old who is not quite happy with Barca after joining the Catalanian club in January 2018 from Liverpool for 145 million euros. He is not that happy with having a contract till June 23. Bayern Munich is interested in having a loan deal, as it is reported, just like the one deal they made with James Rodriguez. But there's also an option if Neymar leaves from PSG to Barca, that Ousmane Dembélé might be obsolete for Barcelona. The French international who signed from Borussia Dortmund after Neymar left Barcelona now is probably an object of interest for Bayern Munich, as we found out in a different tweet that we have here for you. Philippe Coutinho was offered by his agent to Bayern and other clubs. Bayern are waiting for a Neymar move and the domino effect that would follow it. If Neymar joins Barcelona, Bayern would prefer Ousmane Dembélé, who is a little bit younger, over Coutinho. Let's see how this works out and how Bayern and Neymar and all these players are doing in our Rumour Mill next week. Another international object is this man, Alexis Sanchez, the 30-year-old Chile player, Chile international. As it was reported from the Telegraph, there is an interest in a loan transfer from AS Roma. Roma wants to sign the Manchester United central attacker, but there is always an object. He is one of the best paid players in international football. He only played in 20 Premier League games last season, scoring 1 goal and having 3 assists. Not quite happy with a contract until June 22 with Manchester United. Probably there is a chance for Roma. In German football, Bayern Munich was a long-time favorite to sign Timo Werner, who has only 1-year contract left with RB Leipzig. But now there's interest from Spain, as AS, the Spanish newspaper, reports. Valencia wants to sign the 23-year-old German central attacker, who has a market value of 65 million euros. Let's see how this works out. Werner, a very interesting object in international transfer rumors this summer. That's it for this week's edition of Transfermarkt TV International. I hope you enjoyed the show and hope to see you next week right here at this place.